Is Hype actually trying to sabotage NewJeans? And what about the allegedly deleted CCTV footage of the Hanni Illit ignore her situation? The Sserafim being brought into this again? Brand deal conflicts, serious misconduct, and so much more in this episode of K-pop Investigations, where we take a deep dive into a specific subject, this time being NewJeans and Ador's first hearing. So if you're interested in all that, of course, please keep on watching. Now, little disclaimer, I was not physically present in the courtroom, but I am going to try my best to relate to you the information as best that I can. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. And without further ado, let's get into this, because there's a lot. There's some things that we've seen 10 million times before. There's a couple of new things as well. So let's go. So of course today on this here, Friday, March 7th, NewJeans/NJZ attended an interrogation session. Now previously, I'm sure you guys remember, Ador filed an injunction so that NewJeans wouldn't be able to promote as NJZ anymore, kind of like blocking them from doing so. Because of course, as we all know by now, according to NewJeans/NJZ, they say that their contracts are not valid anymore, that it's over, and hence they can, promote independently. But according to Ador, that is definitely not the case, hence this whole situation right now. So of course we had all 5 members of NewJeans attending this, though it seems that it wasn't required for them to actually be there in person. Here we can see them showing up to the courtroom all dressed in black. And then when they left the courtroom, that caused a little bit of backlash, but we'll get to that, don't worry. Have some patience, okay? But the main question on everybody's minds, of course, is this contract still valid? So let's start off with each party's claims. So Ador was really emphasizing, the investment that they put into NewJeans. The 14.5 million USD that Hybe put into NewJeans actually. Behind NewJeans' success was the full-fledged support from Ador. Ador received a total of 21 billion Korean won in investments from Hybe over 2 investment periods. Such an investment for one group is unprecedented. NewJeans is one of the world's leading girl groups representing Korea. The members' talents and hard work have contributed the largest to their success. However, that alone cannot explain all of their success. So, the implication is that this investment, of course, helped them. Ador's only artist is NewJeans. All of Ador's around 50 employees, including stylists, music video directors, choreographers, managers, have dedicated themselves to NewJeans' success since the days they were trainees. We were able to create a fan platform only for NewJeans and invest 10 billion Korean won, which is about 6 million USD, solely for their debut and marketing due to Hybe's investment. Now, alongside this statement, they are also making mention of the fact that even prior to their debut, they were quite hyped up in terms of, being promoted as BTS's sister group, with Minji and Hanni also appearing in BTS's music video for Permission to Dance. And with that, they're also mentioning that the connections to BTS and NewJeans' debut were at the request of Min Hee-jin. There was a whole thing that we were talking about previously with NewJeans being considered BTS's sister group and Min Hee-jin's opposition to that. If I remember correctly, of course, correct me in the comments, but all that to say, Ador is trying to, paint this picture that, they invested so much money into NewJeans. They hyped up NewJeans' debut with BTS and so on and so forth. Then we move on to NJZ's claims. So they're claiming that Hybe tried to damage their reputation and that they did so through memorial ribbons. If we think back to the Jeju airplane crash, tragically a lot of people lost their lives and there was a period of mourning in the K-pop industry as a whole. We saw a lot of idols wearing memorial ribbons. Now, NewJeans are claiming that Hybe didn't want them to wear the memorial ribbons, so their claim is that they had to quickly make their own ribbons. At the time, the members tried to wear memorial ribbons on stage in Japan, but Hybe blocked them, saying that it might cause an issue with the Japanese broadcasting station. However, after confirming with the Japanese broadcasting station, they revealed there was no problem at all. Eventually, Hanni quickly made ribbons before going on stage. Afterward, we saw other artists from Hybe wearing memorial ribbons. If the debtors had listened to the creditors, we would have been a target of criticism. This is evidence that the creditors are damaging the debtors' reputation behind their backs. So the wording here, if the debtors had listened to the creditors, so if NJZ/NewJeans had listened to Hybe, their reputation would have been ruined. And this wouldn't be the first time that we've heard NewJeans, imply or say that, Hybe is trying to sabotage them. And then we see all these pictures of Sserafim having the ribbons, NewJeans, of course, with the ribbons as well, Illit with the ribbons, and even TXT with the ribbons as well. So NewJeans are claiming that they had to make their own ribbons because Hybe was blocking them from wearing the ribbons. Now, Ador does end up responding to this, but they do deny this and say that NewJeans made their own ribbons and they respected the group's choice to want to wear their own ribbons. So they basically clarify the situation by saying that they stopped everyone from wearing the ribbons until they could confirm with the Japanese broadcasting stations that it was okay. Hybe was conducting a comprehensive review not only for NewJeans but also for all label artists regarding the wearing of mourning ribbons and the manner in which they would be worn, considering the different broadcasting conditions in Japan compared to Korea. We informed each label that prior coordination with the broadcasting stations was necessary. Additionally, we coordinated with the broadcasters in advance regarding subtitles and MC comments, explaining the reason for wearing the mourning ribbon. During this process, all the artists expressed their intention to wear the ribbon, and we also intended to provide the same ribbon to NewJeans. However, as they expressed their desire to wear the ribbon they had prepared themselves, we respected their decision and it was finalized accordingly. So again, NewJeans were saying that Hybe tried to block them from wearing the ribbons at all and they had to make their own. And then retroactively, they found out that other Hybe artists were wearing the ribbons. And so they believed that this was Hybe trying to sabotage them. But Ador is basically saying, well, no, they made their own ribbons and they wanted to wear them, so we respected that decision. So another claim that they're making is one that we've heard before, essentially that NewJeans was supposed to be Hybe's first girl group. But as we all know, Sserafim ended up taking that title. I don't know, maybe this is news to you, but if you followed this diligently, like, we've heard of this plenty of times. The claim that NewJeans had been abandoned by Hybe, that they were supposed to debut first. I mean, they were literally planned to debut first. They were going to be Hybe's first girl group, BTS's sister group, but that they were seemingly shelved in favor of Sserafim. They also make mention of the Illit plagiarism controversy when Minheejin accused Belift, Lab, and Hybe of copying NewJeans with Illit. Now, to clarify, she did say the members of Illit have nothing to do with this. It's not their fault, but it's really a company issue. And I will add on to that because I know someone's going to mention it. It's not that Minheejin was saying that having long black hair is, you know, a case of plagiarism. She was specifically mentioning the fact that it was from the sub-labels that she was working with. So she's a label under Hybe, Ador. Belief Lab is a label under Hybe. So for these two sub-labels to have such similar girl groups, that is what she was taking issue with. There's a lot of clarifications that we need to make in this video because I see a lot of people saying like, oh, I thought somebody said this and I thought somebody said that. And well, no, nobody actually did say that, but we'll get to it, okay? But all that to say, Hybe's large-scale media play, abandoning NJZ to make a new girl group, Illit's plagiarism controversy, and the fallout with Dolphiners happened between 2023 and 2024. Dolphiners was in charge of their channel Panisu, which was a fun little channel for fans that included some behind-the-scenes footage. It was just such a random channel that people randomly found. And Panisu, of course, means bunnies. But then Dolphiners group claimed that Ador wanted them to delete the channel. Ador was like, actually, we don't want you to delete the channel. We just want you to delete a specific video that interferes with the brand deal. And Dolphiners was like, why would I lie about you telling me to delete my stuff? Why would I like delete my work? And it was this whole back and forth thing. But continuing on, no other artists under Hybe have experienced this type of treatment except NJZ. Hybe's other labels have continued with unfair practices, but Ador doesn't have the ability to prevent these actions. If this had happened in another company, it would not have been ignored like with NJZ. So this is where Sserafim is mentioned again. Hybe originally promised NewJeans' debut would be Hybe's first girl group. However, after NewJeans' debut evaluation in March 2021, Hybe neglected the group until September 2021. Just some more clarification. Now, it's definitely very interesting because, you know, the specific audition programs that the NJZ members / NewJeans auditioned for was specifically advertised as Hybe's first girl group. And I mean, they were supposed to be Hybe's first girl group. Now, on one side, there's the claim that because of Sakura and Taewon, Sserafim was then favored in terms of who would debut first. And then on the other side, there's claims that Minheejin just simply took too much time to prepare their debut. And there's even claims that she did this purposefully so that she could then get her own label and then eventually become independent. So those are the two sides to this claim. But then they make mention specifically of a brand deal. How Han was an ambassador for a specific brand, but then suddenly the Sserafim were also announced as ambassadors for that brand. Now, in theory, that wouldn't necessarily be an issue, but they asked the brand specifically, and the brand told them that Hybe requested it and that they were under the impression that they were aware of this, which it seems that they weren't. Additionally, Han was chosen as the ambassador for a specific brand, but suddenly, Sserafim was also named as ambassadors. When we inquired with the brand, they confirmed that Hybe had requested it and assumed that they had talked about it with us first. The brand even apologized for the matter. As for the brand deal, Source has responded to this as well, but essentially they explain the story behind Sserafim getting the brand ambassadorship, and they also make mentions of the whole debut thing. We would like to clarify and address some of the claims made today regarding our company and our artists that are not based on facts. Sserafim did not receive any special privileges or unfair advantages in the process of being selected as brand ambassadors for a specific brand. Their connection with the brand began in April 2022 when Sakura signed a contract with the brand. The collaboration was mutually satisfactory, and through discussions with the brand's Japanese office, the possibility of expanding the partnership to the entire team as ambassadors was considered. This was pursued and successfully established independently without any relation to other artists. This can be fully substantiated with objective evidence, and we are prepared to provide clarification whenever legally necessary. And we move on to the debut timeline. They're saying what NewJeans are claiming is different from the truth. Our company has provided full support for the NewJeans members in their debut preparations, regardless of circumstances. However, despite this, former CEO Min Hee-jin spread false information during a press conference in April of last year. To rectify these claims, we filed a damages lawsuit against her in July, and the case is currently ongoing. We deeply regret that these unilateral claims were made without even minimal effort to verify the facts, and we expect that the legal process will correct these baseless allegations. So I wonder if they're being a little bit vague about this because the case is still ongoing, because I feel like otherwise they would have been more detailed. Because if I'm remembering correctly, like what I had said before, Min Hee-jin was claiming that no, NewJeans was supposed to be the first girl group under Hybe, and then Source Music or Hybe was basically confirmed, yes, it was supposed to be NewJeans, but Min Hee-jin took too much time preparing their debut, so we had to move on. But they go on to say, bringing up an artist's real name based on unverified and inaccurate information is an irresponsible and serious act that should never be done to any artist. Such one-sided claims not only subject fellow artists to criticism, but also spread misinformation to fans and the public, creating an environment where baseless and inaccurate claims circulate. So it seems they were not too happy with the mention of Sserafim. Our company takes this situation very seriously and will take all necessary legal measures to rectify these claims. Thank you. From the beginning, literally from the beginning, people have been very unhappy with the fact that specific names have been mentioned. I mean, of course, Sserafim, but also specific members in Sserafim, Taewon, Sakura, who were seemingly mentioned as reasons why Sserafim was favored over NewJeans. There's a lot of people also bringing up the timing of this, that specifically mentioning Sserafim before their comeback is just not it. I mean, mentioning them at all is not it, but specifically before their comeback. So not only did we get a response from Source Music, but we also got a response from Ador in regards to the brand ambassadorship specifically. So they're basically saying NewJeans did not facilitate Sserafim getting that brand ambassadorship. In fact, J-Hope of BTS also had a similar brand ambassadorship before. CEO Min is unilaterally claiming that the contract between Source Music artists and the luxury brand was facilitated by using the network discovered during the NewJeans members ambassador contract process, and that Ador should have obtained prior consent. However, the contract between the brand and Source Music was formed naturally through a friendly relationship that developed after the artist attended the brand's fashion show. Source Music was basically saying that the brand had a relationship with Sakura to begin with, and then that facilitated Sserafim as a group having that brand ambassadorship as well. But then they bring up BTS. Additionally, before NewJeans Han signed as a global ambassador, BTS's J-Hope had already signed with the brand, and prior to that, BTS as a group was the first in the world to work as global ambassadors for the brand. Following the same logic, Ador should have obtained consent from Big Hit Music, J-Hope/BTS, who had previously signed ambassador contracts with the brand before Ador. But then we get to the CCTV footage. Now, the infamous CCTV footage, the Hanni ignore her situation. Now, there was a time when NewJeans did an emergency live stream, and in that live stream, Hanni recounted a story where she was greeting another Hybe group. Now, she does say the group greeted her back, but the manager told the group to ignore her. NewJeans' parents, of course, got involved in this. They wanted to see the CCTV footage. And at one point, it seems that Hybe was saying that the footage was deleted, but then at another point, it seems that no, they did have the footage, but they had the footage up until the very moment that the manager would have said ignore them. But then the story was that actually the footage gets deleted after 30 days, so they just didn't have the footage. I mean, the whole footage situation was really unclear at one point, but it seems that in this hearing, we got to see a little bit of it. So just a little clarification. When Hanni first talked about this in the live stream, she didn't mention a group's name whatsoever. She just said she was going to like a hair and makeup room and she saw another group and that their manager told them to ignore her. It was then later revealed that that group was Illit. So there's no audio in this CCTV footage, so it's kind of difficult to say anything happened. So let me show you. So this is apparently Danielle. I don't know where Hanni even is. It's going way too fast, to be honest, but we do see the Illit members bowing 90 degrees, right? So the response to this, some fans are saying this literally proves Hanni was lying. This proves Hanni wrong. We can clearly see Illit bowing to her. And then there are people coming to her defense, basically saying, well, Hanni said that they greeted her properly. It was the manager who told them to ignore her. But since there's no audio, how do we even prove any of this? But I will just say I'm shocked because we've heard so much about this CCTV footage. There was a lot of different information about this. Now, among other things, NewJeans definitely did speak about, the lack of trust that they have in Ador, that they would definitely not want to go back with Ador, that Ador doesn't protect them. And again, these are things that we've heard time and time again, hence why they're saying that their contracts are over. Trust has been broken. They just simply cannot go back. And that was reiterated here as well. Hayden said she felt helpless watching Hybe tarnish their image without Ador stepping in. Danielle spoke about her fear when Min faced attacks from the media. Han accused Ador of being filled with Hybe loyalists who had no intention of defending the group. Hanni alleged hypocrisy from Hybe, saying that the agency blocked them while claiming to support them. Minji described the extreme stress and anxiety the members endured ahead of their comeback. Now back to what Danielle was saying, because there was a quote that, there's a quote that I've been seeing going around basically of her saying that NewJeans are basically 6 members. They include Min Hee-jin in that. So let's read that briefly. We are very sensitive about each member's condition and are always concerned about injuries or illness. What I want to say is that while there are 5 of us on stage, we are a team of 6, including CEO Min Hee-jin. Seeing the CEO attacked and absurd articles being published made me afraid of losing her. I want to continue working with her in the future. So of course, this is not a new sentiment. It's just not a new sentiment. We've heard consistently, even when NewJeans/NJZ were being very silent on everything, the one thing that they would at least infer was that they loved their CEO. And then once they started being more vocal about things, they so much as said, we want to continue working with CEO Min Hee-jin. They used the blue cap emoji to show support for her. They've worn shirts with her face all over it. But this has been heavily criticized in the past, and it continues to be heavily criticized to this day. So of course, while there continue to be a ton of people fiercely defending NJZ/NewJeans throughout all of this, there are of course people who are not too happy that they keep on mentioning her, that they keep supporting her despite everything that has happened. So then we get to the end of this hearing, and Hanni is seen leaving the building laughing. As we can see in this video, she's just laughing. She just seems quite happy, right? Now, some fans did not take this very well, especially since during the hearing, there were mentions of Illit, there were mentions of Sserafim. A lot of people are just annoyed at this point that those groups keep getting dragged into this. I mean, of course, Illit and Sserafim, Illit who were accused of being, copies of NewJeans, who were accused of being told to ignore Hanni, and Sserafim who are accused of being the group favored above NewJeans, and the whole brand deal situation. Like, think of all the accusations, the official accusations being made, and then everything else that fans can conjure up in between. I mean, it's been a lot. So the fact that after this court hearing where these groups were very much mentioned by name, Hanni seems to be laughing and smiling. A lot of fans were not happy about that. Again, people accusing her of lying, or the fact that you lied and then you're laughing about it. The fact that you dragged all these other groups into it and you're laughing about it. Now, of course, there are fans defending her, basically saying they only mentioned those groups to help their case. That they're not blaming the group specifically, but rather literally Hybe and Belift and Source. People saying that they're laughing at Ador, not Illit or Sserafim. And again, I'm just sharing with you the responses that I've seen. I mean, of course, if you go on Twitter, it's like really not that hard to find anything negative. Or, I mean, it depends, because you'll find something positive and people will be like, well, actually that's negative because it's positive towards the situation that I find negative. But I'm just trying to relay information to you, okay? That being said, I have seen a lot of people say, they've lost trust in the girls because of this specifically, that they no longer support them. But there are a lot of people who are proud of them, who think that they're going to make a change in the industry with what they're doing in terms of protection for idols and trainees. But following this, Hanni took to Instagram and posted a couple of stories. So let's read what she said. I remember everything clearly. I was going to say something in court but held it in. How can you take one part of a conversation and shift its meaning to benefit your point of view when I was the one who wrote that message? Whilst you present yourself as a company that wants the best for us, please stop harassing me, Ador, and Hybe. And then here is her second story. I have a lot to say, but I've been holding back simply because I don't see the need to have to escalate this issue any bigger than it already is. But if you think you have the audacity to make even more false assumptions about us than you already have, then I won't stay quiet. So again, the response to this, on one hand, there are people saying, you know, she must be really stressed out right now. This must be a very difficult time for her, and offering sympathy. And then there are, of course, people saying, you know, that she's crashing out, that she should have spoken up in court, so on and so forth. But that's basically where we're at with this first hearing. I'm so sure we're nowhere near the end of all of this, but that's basically where we're gonna end this video. So thank you so much for watching. These are the lovely individuals who help support my channel on a monthly basis. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with friends you don't have. Subscribe, go follow my second channel where we do a lot of live streams and gaming, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.